Is this worse than Grimsby? Is this worse than Grimsby, guys? How do you feel about this one? Is this worse than losing against Tottenham in the Europa League? How do you feel about that? Is it where are you positioning this? I heard the boos at Old Trafford today. Thank you, Old Trafford. For once, you weren't just blindly singing his song. You weren't just blindly singing Amorim, whatever the Amorim song is. I don't know what it is. But for once, you actually responded to what you were seeing and witnessing and experiencing in front of you. There weren't the blind faith anymore. It was, damn, this is shit. Let's boo them. Well done, because that performance was shit. It was not good. At Old Trafford against the worst team, some are saying, in the Premier League. I remember we gave, was it Wigan or West Brom, the accolade years back, but now it's Wolves. It's the W teams. Is it because they're later on in the alphabet and they're towards the end of the alpha W? It doesn't matter. Either way, we played the worst team in the league and we couldn't get the job done. The players were absolutely awful today. Heaven, I think, had a good game. Why did Heaven get subbed off, guys? I don't understand. What is the manager's fascination with always changing and moving and substituting and messing up with our defense? Like, I used to think that the defense is something you keep for as long as consistent, for as long as you can, because a consistent defense means you're gonna concede less goals. You can change your strikers. You can take off your Andy Coles and your Dwight Yorks and put on your Sheringham's and Solskjaer's, but you don't take off your Yap Stam. You might leave. You don't change. You don't meddle with your defensive structure, with your foundation, with your base. You can change. You can extend a little bit, but don't mess with underneath what's going on. And why does a manager, when we need to score goals, always makes defensive changes? Now, like I said, the players weren't good, so the players will have to take some blame today. They do. They weren't good today. Xerxes scored a fluky goal, but other than that, I don't really see anyone really sticking up for having a good game today. And the manager didn't manage the game well when we needed. What happened? I hope Xerxes is injured. If Xerxes is not injured, then I don't know why the manager has taken off Joshua Xerxes. Why? I can only assume he's not injured, but it's a fact that he took off Xerxes and he put on a midfielder. I don't know who he could have put on, but he took off an attacker, put on a midfielder. He made us more defensive when it was 1-0 and we needed to go and score a goal. It's these defensive changes, and even when he had the likes of Kobe and Xerxes on the bench, he would often make defensive changes before making attacking changes when we needed to score a goal. I don't know, guys. I really don't know. This, even though we drew, I know this is going to feel like a loss for a lot of you guys. And I think everyone has a part to play. You could argue no matter who he puts out and what formation, just go and beat Wolves. Just shut your mouths, do your job and beat Wolves. I don't care. But then you've got to argue that, the manager needs to manage. The manager has a part to play. Everyone has a part to play in this absolutely disgraceful performance, in my opinion. Crap. 1-0. I said today, in order for us to win this game, we would have had to do something that we have only done once this season. And because we've only done it once, I don't even include it. It's the anomaly. So something that we don't do, which is win a second half of a football match. It was 1-0 at half time, which means in order to win, we would have had to win the second half of a game. We don't do that. We either lose or draw the second half of football matches. That's what we do. So it is what it is. Let me know how you guys feel about that. Let me know how you guys saw the game. Because to me, Wolves arguably were the better team in large parts of that game. They looked the more likely to score in large parts of that game. They didn't look like a bottom team. We lowered ourselves to their level. So let me know, how did you see the game, guys? Comment below. Don't be shy. Get conversation going. If you like the content, subscribe below. If you like to think about football the way I do, subscribe below. If you've already subscribed, make sure your notifications are turned on. It is what it is, guys, but we move on. What's going to happen to this manager? I saw and I heard the boos at the end of the game. Are things starting to turn? I heard what Gary Neville said on commentary. I don't always agree with Gary Neville, but I heard what he said. Let me know what's going on. Comment below, and I'll see you guys next time.